beginner marketers from all over the world are taking this exact concept of transforming and hacking their social media profiles, and they're getting insane results even if they have nothing to sell. And it was at that moment I was like, we just stumbled across this kind of like hidden loophole on social media where we can, for the first time ever, combine actual traffic sources of customers with Facebook and Instagram and all these different platforms with products and services, even if they're not your own.
This is The Fighting Entrepreneur, the podcast dedicated to entrepreneurs looking to change the world. Learn how to start, build, and scale a business in today's highly competitive business environment. Here's your host, The Fighting Entrepreneur, Anik Singal.
What's up, you crazy fighting entrepreneurs? Guess who it is? Your favorite person in the whole wide world, back in the ring today. I'm going to have a little fight with a guest named Blake Nubar, and he's got a killer strategy, so I don't want to really fight him too much because I want him to unveil what he's got. I'm going to give you a little background story to this before I even get into the podcast, but first of all, I just want you to know he's going to reveal how to generate about $537 a day using an underground loophole on Facebook. That sounds engaging. Now, I didn't know who Blake was. Okay, this is my honest truth. I hadn't run into him yet, and I got a phone call from Brian Proctor. Okay, now Brian Proctor is Bob Proctor's son. He's also one of my very good friends, and when he calls, I answer, and he doesn't call a lot. He called me, and I picked up, and I'm like, Brian, what's up? And he's like, listen, you need to meet this guy Blake. And I was so taken aback because I've known Brian now for about 12 years. I think there's been like maybe 2 calls or 3 max where he was like, you need to meet someone. So I take it very seriously when he says that. He's like, listen, he's got something amazing. Our students are loving it. Like, I really feel like it's such a perfect fit for Lurn. So I thought, wow, okay. So I said, all right. So Blake and I actually got to know each other well over a year ago at this point, and we've been kind of talking, and I've seen some of his training. I've been blown away when we're looking for the right time to get him on this podcast and to, of course, do a webinar with him as well, a workshop. So I'm going to let the cat out of the bag. We're doing a killer workshop. And if you haven't already signed up for it, you need to go to lurn.com/Blake, Blake, Blake, okay? Lurn.com/Blake. Go sign up for it. Now, if you already signed up for it, that's why you're watching this video. This is kind of your homework before you show up for the workshop. So he's going to unveil to us, what is this underground loophole? How does it turn into $537 a day? Of course, if you're on YouTube, click subscribe. Come on, leave us a comment, click the thumbs up thingy. Do whatever you can. Click everywhere, okay? YouTube sees it, and it helps us out somehow. If you're listening to us on any other platform, onikpodcast.com, make sure you subscribe, and please send us to everyone you know so we can grow this podcast. Now, having said that, we gave you a very specific title in the headline, right? $537 a day. I do want to be very careful. Listen, we're not promising you anything. In the end, you got to put the work in. A lot of people try this stuff. They don't actually do the work, so then they don't get the results. But then a lot of students also do the work and get great results. Our job is to show you the light, to show you the training, to be here to inspire you. You've still got to do the work. I'm going to always put that out there now, okay? Yes? So let's continue. Let's bring on our awesome guest. This guy has sold, I think, well over $20 million on the internet. He's worked with Shark Tank's top hosts. He is just doing killer stuff, but he's the only person I know in the industry talking about this Facebook loophole, and I feel kind of stupid. I feel like all of us should be talking about it. But Blake, man, thank you so much for being here. It's such an honor to have you. Thanks for coming.
Anik, the pleasure's all mine, man. Thanks for having me today.
Yeah, of course. Well, listen, Blake, like I told everyone, we're doing an in-depth workshop. So you are going to go into the detail on that. And everyone's watching this who signed up for the workshop. But come on, man, let's let the cat out of the bag. What is this? What is it you're teaching that is so innovative that all of us other marketers who've been around for 20 years are smacking ourselves right now?
Yeah, it was crazy. So this was really unique, actually. I stumbled upon it by accident. It never existed before. I was actually out to dinner one night with my girlfriend, who's now my fiance, and we're sitting there, we're talking, and she goes to the bathroom. So the first thing I do is I pull out my phone and I'm browsing on Facebook and social media, and I'll never forget it. This one post caught my attention, so I did what I do best: is I clicked on that person's post and I ended up on their profile and I started reading their stuff. And it was the same moment I realized that I do this all the time. I am so nosy when it comes to social media, and I'm clicking on people's profiles all the time. So I was wondering, I was like, man, if I do this all the time, how many times are people doing this to me? How many times are people clicking on my profile and seeing like what I do? So I ran this like really unique experiment, and I went back to my Facebook profile and I treated it more like a landing page or like a website or a sales funnel, right? Like instead of like your traditional profile where you have like a cover photo and stuff of like maybe a nice picture of Las Vegas, whatever it might be, I decided to treat it like I was going to design a website or a funnel, right? And I changed the cover photo out and I added a button to it and I added links. I changed my profile picture. I added call to actions and all these different colors. And by the time I was done with this entire thing, it looked like an actual landing page. And what shocked me was what happened next, right? 9 days later, after simply making changes to my profile, I generated over $25,000 in sales for my products and services. Now,
wow.
Yeah. And let me remind you, guys, I was just getting started. Like I was brand new. I was like trying to find ways to generate income online. I failed doing everything. And I was like, let me throw this kind of Hail Mary because it seems like a viable experiment. And it was at that moment I was blown away. But me, me being me, right? I'm the most like skeptical human on earth about myself. I instantly was like, okay, I got lucky, right? There's no way anyone else can get results like this. So I remember I sent a few more people through this process and they got results. And then a few more people through it and they got results. And next thing you know, entrepreneurs and beginner marketers from all over the world are taking this exact concept of transforming and hacking their social media profiles. And they're getting insane results, even if they have nothing to sell. And it was at that moment, I was like, we just stumbled across this kind of like hidden loophole on social media where we can, for the first time ever, combine actual traffic sources of customers with Facebook and Instagram and all these different platforms with products and services, even if they're not your own. And that was kind of like this underground thing. And I wish I can go into more detail on it. Like it gets really interesting what happened after we launched it once. But the workshop, I'm going to go into in-depth training on exactly how it works and how like anyone from anywhere can benefit from it.
A couple of questions then. So first and foremost, I'm going to assume because you're using Facebook and you're using Facebook profile, it's free traffic. Like you're not asking anyone to go out and spend a bunch of money in traffic.
Correct. Yeah. Last thing I want anyone to do is spend more than they have to. Because Facebook already exists and we're all on Facebook. If Facebook were a country, it'd be like the second largest or first largest country in the world, like biggest GDP. It's insane. Everyone already exists on the platform. You don't have to spend a dime on ads or any advertising expenses or things like that.
So, okay. So let's break this down a bit more because you said when you first did it, you changed your personal Facebook profile, right? So, I mean, I have one Facebook profile, which is what it is right now. I can't have many. Do you have a way to have multiple, or it's just the one that the people have?
Yeah, just the one. So we always want to abide by Facebook's policy. Everyone has their one profile, right? And we stay ethical to that. But you can have multiple brand pages if you want. Some people are like, Blake, this sounds cool, but do I have to use my profile? The answer is no, you don't have to, because Facebook actually has business and brand profiles if you want to actually like separate things from your personal life, which is like an amazing thing you can do. So I use my personal profile, but there's so many other styles of profiles that you can use at the benefit of Facebook offering them to, people like us.
Okay, awesome. So the other thing you mentioned is the first time you did this where you got $25,000 in orders. Actually, can I pause real quick? I'm going to come back and ask that question, but like you've been able to make it successful. Just to be clear to everyone that's listening, have you been able to create success from students and other people as well now?
Yes, a ton. We have a ton of success stories from it.
Okay. Perfect. I wanted everyone to just hear that. I knew the answer, everyone, but I wanted you to hear it. Okay, going back to your first $25,000, I'm going to like literally go through some reactions I had in my brain when you said that. I'm like, the first thing I thought was, well, I don't sell websites. I don't design websites. So do I have to have an existing service or something already to be able to do this? Can you talk through that a little bit? Like if you've had a load of student success stories, what kind of stuff have they done to actually make that money?
Yeah, so you have multiple types of students, right? You have people that have, they already have something they want to do, right? They're like, hey, I have this hair salon, whatever it might be, right? And that's great because they can, using this method, which actually goes into much more interesting detail, they can set this stuff up and get more customers. But then you also have people that maybe they don't have anything. They're like, I don't have anything to sell, right? So we engage in what's called affiliate marketing, where you're able to sell other people's products by setting up your profile like this. And that is how we originally like launched this entire thing to the world. And where it got interesting was actually what we learned next from this entire opportunity. I want to so bad to talk about that, but honestly, the workshop is going to be the best place to learn about how anyone, whether you have a product or service, or you don't have a product or service, or you don't even want to have a product or service, right, can engage on something like this. It actually, the plot thickens as we get further in, and the workshop will be a great place to like really go into.
So that is interesting. So first of all, you just untied me from using my personal profile. So for anyone's listening, if you don't want it to be public, or you're doing something, you don't want your own friends and family to see it, you don't have to. You don't have to use you don't have to use your personal profile. You can create a new one by the offer that Facebook already does. It's completely legitimate. Second thing you're saying, which really caught my ear, because a lot of our students at Lurn are very, very excited about doing affiliate marketing. That's kind of like a big thing for them. So what you said is, hey, you don't have to have your own product, your own service, your own anything. You can tie up with an existing one out there and then use your strategies on this profile page to drive leads and traffic towards this affiliate offer. Did I say that correctly?
Exactly right. Yeah. What happens is I think a lot of people can relate to this, is that we might become an affiliate marketer, right? And then, or we might have our own product or service, but regardless what path you pick in life, I think we all can agree that getting traffic, getting customers is extremely difficult, right? It's like most people can get everything set up, but getting people to actually view your stuff and make a purchase, which puts money into your bank account, is the hard part. What's unique about this kind of hidden loophole is that, like I said, for the first time ever, we're combining the actual free traffic source of Facebook, which is like the entire world, right? 2.5 billion people now on it, and the products and services that you want to promote together, right? There's no aggressive antics that you have to do. If people start visiting your profile, even if you engage very little on Facebook or social media, you're like, Blake, I don't even like to be on social media. It doesn't matter. You have a stream of traffic coming to your profile every single day. And if it's optimized effectively, you can sell products and services even if they're not your own.
That's amazing. All right. So amongst all the students that you're having, like, let's talk about general scope. I know some students might have a hair salon, or like you said, but 95% of people listening right now are going to be in the boat where they're like, I don't have anything to sell. Are most of your students getting success as an affiliate, or as a contractor, a coach, or, local business owner? Where would you say a majority of your success is coming from for the students?
Yeah, so we have a melting pot. I would say it's split into two, right? A large part of people have an idea of what they want to pursue, and they're like, I'm looking for more customers. Perfect. This opportunity, like what I can show you, is going to show you how to do that. But where we see a lot of interesting is that you don't have anything that you're working on, right? Or maybe you're like, how do I earn an income online, right? It's something that's not so saturated, which is all these other business models, right? This really shows you how to do it by leveraging and selling other people's products and services, right? Where you don't have to go build your own stuff. You don't have to go provide customer support or any of that crazy stuff. You literally just kind of become the front person now of being the traffic source. And by utilizing this kind of fresh traffic source that exists every single day, you get to tap into, kind of like I said, this new loophole that no one really knows exists, but the people utilizing it are seeing a crazy influx in their leads and sales coming through their pipeline as a result.
Okay, so let's break it down as far as affiliate offers goes. So I'm trying to get more clear understanding of how the system works. And then I do want to ask you, like, okay, so I set up a profile page, but how do I actually get traffic to it? But all right, I'm very secretive about this, but I talk about it every now and then. I have a watch company that we started that's kicking butt. Could this work for that? I'll give you like a bunch of examples, and you can, feel free to say like, this isn't great for that, but this is great for that. So I'm starting first with like an e-commerce product like watches.
Yeah. So watches 100%. It can work for nearly any type of business. And Anik, before I answer your question, maybe I'll help clear this up. When we first started selling this, right, we realized there's a bunch of different types of customers coming in. We had attorneys buy it to get more leads. We had landscapers purchase it. We had doctors, dentists. We had e-commerce. We had digital agencies. We had affiliate marketers. We even had a guy selling his Christian rock music that wanted to sell more of his products and services. So almost any type of business can utilize this traffic source because it's customers, but you don't have to pay for them. So back to your watch example. Yeah. So what would happen is we have this really unique strategy of teaching people how to kind of modify their Facebook profile so that when someone lands on your profile, which is what happens every single day, instantly they don't have to think about, hey, who's Anik and what does he do? I instantly know what he does, who he is, and what he's trying to communicate to the marketplace. May that be he wants to speak more, he has a watch he wants to sell, he has a service he wants to sell. I would instantly know based on the method that I show you how to set it up. So what happens now, because let's say it's me, Blake, and I land on Anik's profile, I go, oh, he's got this cool new line of watches. These are amazing. What I do now is, because I know your profile is optimized, I'm going to be intrigued to now start clicking around in the specific spots that we designed the profile to click. And now I'm going to your watch collection, which may be a storefront, it may be a free opt-in, whatever it might be. But I'm bringing people in a specific way now where I can go get more information and possibly make a purchase to your watches.
Okay. No, I love it. So for all of you out there who might want to be an affiliate to a high ticket program that you love, maybe you want to be an affiliate of Lurn's, hint, hint, and promote any of our programs. Or for example, like our watch company, the reason that first came to example was, without giving away too much, the target market that we target, if I start thinking about that, I'm like, man, that's I feel like an affiliate could come in and just really do some killer stuff with that, because we have a very defined market we go after that they could target. If you're, like I said, coach, consultant, local business owner, if let's say you don't have a local business, but you could set up a deal with the local business to provide them leads and get paid for that. CPA, lead generation, affiliate marketing. I mean, there's a gazillion ways to do this. So let's get to so now let's say my profile is set up. You obviously have alluded to this. You have a template you follow. We're going to show everybody what that looks like. I know Blake's going to show a couple of examples on the workshop as well. So make sure you go to lurn.com, lurn.com/Blake, Blake. If you're on YouTube, the link should be the first thing in the description. But Blake, one thing I'm not understanding is, so, okay, I got a profile, especially if it's not my personal profile. Like, okay, I got Anik Singal. I don't know if I want Anik Singal's profile page to become like the watch guy, because that's not, I have like 6-7 different businesses. So let's say I take your offer and I set up this other page, right? You had said there's other profile pages I can set up. How does that get traffic then?
Yeah, so inside, and I'll show this more on the workshop, we've evaluated a ton of different styles of businesses and a ton of different types of viral posts, we call them. And basically, it's a framework. It's an easy to follow kind of fill in the blank framework, because personally, I'm terrible at writing Facebook posts that actually get engagement. So I realized, let me just go model and find other macro successful businesses, right? All different niches, and see the types of posts they're posting to get engagement. And what we did is we kind of like brought all these different styles of bait together in a series of posts for social media, where anyone, anywhere can now start posting specific types of content to start fueling people and drawing in the crowd into their profile. So think of it kind of like a highway, right? Like there's a bunch of cars on it, and I show people how to like make sure everyone gets off at your exit.
No, that makes perfect. Well, look, for anyone who can use their personal profile, I can tell you right now, I mean, the easiest way, I mean, you already have so many people visiting your personal profile, your friends and all, and you're posting all the time. I know my personal profile is visited all the time. And anyone who's listening to this podcast, go back and listen to the episodes we did with Mike Bontempo. Go back and listen to an episode how I did, this is a true story. I filled, in 2020, before the pandemic lockdown, we did an event here at the Lurn Center called WebinarCon, which, by the way, is still happening. They're doing it now they're doing it in Austin, Ron and Andy. I filled up, myself, Ron and Andy filled that event up without a single dollar in advertising cost. All three of us only used our personal profile page. That's it. We would just post on our personal profile page, and all of our friends happened to be the right people, like that we wanted to come to the event. So now that's not what I'm telling anyone who's listening to do, but that's how it fit for me. And I was happy to change my profile to accommodate that event for a period of a month. And just so you know, we did over $500,000 in sales. So it's not like a small amount of money to change your profile page for a month. So this is awesome. Blake, I guess the way you teach it on the workshop, is it broken down by steps? I want to recap for everybody. So everyone, here's how I think it works. Blake, you correct me if I'm wrong. You got to come to the workshop first of all, because he's going to show you tons of examples. I've seen the workshop. And I can just tell you, like, the examples he shares, half of them you just go, why the hell did I not think of that? Like, this is ridiculous. Plus, he gives you the ability to have some things that you can just clone from him. So if you're sitting there and you're wondering, I don't have an idea, I don't get it, I don't know how to, well, great. He gives you stuff you can just take and run with, if that's the case, which was my favorite part of the workshop. But like, it sounds to me like you're going to help people pick something that they can do to monetize, whichever way that is. And even if they don't know what they're doing, they come to your training, I'm going to guess you address it from head to toe. And then from there, you help them get a optimized profile page so that it's ready and set up perfectly to make people click and look around. And then third, it's just you help them start figuring out, you help them do the very things they need to do to get people to come to that page. That's it. On Facebook, no paid traffic, nothing. They're just doing activity on Facebook, which is sucking people to their page. And that page has already been optimized to create sales. And so really, that's all they're doing. It's almost like 3 or 4 steps only. Is that right?
Exactly right. Yeah, it's like 3 steps. We found a way to like kind of codify it into 3 simple steps to make it really easy, which it is. It's simple. Anyone can do this. The difference is that most people aren't doing it because, again, we can't see this traffic, but it's there. It's happening every single day. So like Anik was saying, if you don't have a product or service and you feel like you don't know where to get started or you haven't gotten traction before, this is one of the perfect things to be utilizing because I can show you how to get traction. And if you do have something and you want to get more out to the world, and you want more people to see it in the marketplace, I show you how to utilize this strategy as well to sell more of those of your products and services. So it's a win-win depending on what direction you're coming in from.
It's perfect. So listen, I've been doing this, Blake, as I'm sure you've been doing it for a long time. I've been teaching students for almost two decades now. I hit that number recently. I was like, holy crap, I've been doing this for almost 20 years. I have seen it all. I've heard it all. What do I sell is a huge question people get stuck on. And here's the deal. They're going to address that for you. And then how do I get traffic? And anyone, listen, I love paid traffic. I'm telling everyone right now, I invest $800,000 to $1 million a month in paid traffic. I love it to death. But I understand it creates a lot of reservation for people up front. So in the end, what we say is, okay, fine, here. So you show them how to throw that fear in the trash. They never have to spend a dime on traffic. You show them how to do it within the Facebook platform for free. And then, you know, the third big question we get from people is, how quick can I do this and actually monetize? Given that they're not building websites here, they're not building funnels from the sounds of it, like they're using click, drag stuff Facebook's offering. What, give me your extreme example, Blake, and then we'll talk about an average example. Like, what's a student success story that sticks out in your head where you're like, this guy went from, starting to profit or first sale within a short period of time? Does anything come to mind?
Oh yeah. So what we really noticed that was interesting is that a majority of the people that went through this process and understood the system, they were making sales before they were even fully finished setting it up. And my mind was always blown by that. And I thought it was like a fluke. Like, oh, that was just like one person. It's like every week someone's posting in our Facebook group, I'm generating sales, Blake, and I haven't even launched this thing yet. And I am always blown away by that because it just shows you like the power of that traffic source that exists, that you don't have to spend time figuring out Facebook ads or YouTube ads or any of that stuff. You just set it up and people are flocking through it. So we get a lot of people that are like, Blake, you've changed my life. I made sales before I even launched this thing. We have some people that have generated over 6 figures by actually like really honing in on it and making it their own in a really unique way that I explain on the workshop as well. So we have a bunch of a variety. The biggest though I would say is if you're looking to generate an income online, this is a really, really fast way that I can show you and give you the possibility of doing so.
No, I have seen it, everyone. And I'm telling you, I even came to learn about it from one of the most trusted sources in my life. And this workshop, you're going to be blown away. You're going to see exactly how it works. Multiple examples. I remember, I'm being very honest. I remember going into the workshop a little bit like, huh? And then as I watched it, I was like, oh, why did I not think of this? It's very brilliant for those of you, especially who are looking to get that first kick. You just need that first start. You don't want to put a lot of time or money into it. You want it to be simple, straightforward, and for it to work. I encourage you right now, go to lurn.com/Blake, LURN.com/BLAKE, Blake. All right. So Blake, man, thanks so much for being here. I'm not going to take any more of your time right now because I want you to show it. I actually want you to show it on the webinar. I'm super excited about it. But again, I mean, you've found a way. You've found a way that's about as close as I've heard so far to click and make money, which is what people all want, right? They want like a button they can click. Well, Facebook has a bunch of buttons. Click some of those and you can be in business. So Blake, thanks so much, man. It's been great having you.
Thanks for having me. I'm pumped. I can't wait to share everything I've learned over the course of a few years with everyone. So I'm pumped. I'll see everyone on the workshop.
Yeah, awesome. All right, everyone, we're going to see you in the workshop, right? So make sure you're there. Click the URL in the description or go to lurn.com/BLAKE, and we will see you there. And as I always say, when life pushes you, stand straight, smile, and push it the heck back. This is Anik. I'll see you on the next one. See you later.
Thanks for listening to The Fighting Entrepreneur with your host, Anik Singal.